Well, hello and welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Today we're going to do another board game unboxing. We haven't done one of these in a while. And this is for a game that we have a lot of stuff for, but a lot of stuff that needs to be unboxed. So we just started to get back into the game. Watching a lot of videos of them and trying to get back into it. This is one of the hero packs from the Shadows of Brimstone. It's from the Old West part of it, the older stuff, but one of the many hero packs that we have that we've yet to unbox. We've just basically unboxed the base game stuff from the City of Ancients, the Swamps of Jargono, and Forbidden Fortress, just the core sets. So we figured we'd start to get to unbox some of these and maybe get a playthrough or two down on one of these games here. So anyway, so this is the Cowboy Hero Pack. As you can see, it comes with a male and female model. I'm not sure if these are resin or if they're plastic. We'll see, definitely. It looks like they might be plastic, but I could be wrong. But anyway, yeah, let's get it underway. So this is how it came. It came without the shrink wrap on it, but it is brand new in the box. So take out what's inside and show you what comes with it. So the back of it, oops, sorry. Let's see here. I don't know if you can read it. How well you can read it. Let's see if I can get the lighting a little bit further down here. There we go. Anyway, the Hero Pack Cowboy. Before the cataclysm had devoured Brimstone, cowboys rode the nasty trails and canyon valleys throughout the region, guiding their cattle and living off the land. Once the town blew and creatures started pouring out of the mines, many of these rough-riding frontier allies rode into the fire, even as others ran for the hills. With their fancy trick shooting, daredevil attitude, and experience on the range, these men and women of the saddle weren't about to let some demons steal their world. All right, so yeah, so as you can see, these are the contents that come with it. So lots of good stuff as usual. So let's take a look and see what's in the box. All right, so let's take a look first at the sheet here, the Hero Pack, the Cowboy. So the Cowboy is a new hero class that has been added to your game's Shadows of Brimstone. He's a well-rounded fighter class that can absorb a lot of damage and never has to go too long without any grit. With a pistol and bandana, he can dodge between foes, shooting up the place and showing off with the lusty lasso that allows him to rope enemies, holding them in place and reducing effectiveness. So rules notes, so lasso, he comes with a lasso. It's part of his gear, and he's got a giddy up special ability, which we'll read on his card. But I think, yeah, I did read that right there. So that's the front here, and then in the back basically just gives you instructions. Yeah, so these are plastic miniatures, so they're not the resin, which is good. So the male, just basically got to put the arm on and glue them to the base, which is good. And the female, for some reason, you have to put the head on. Don't know why it couldn't have came just like the male, but it doesn't. And then the lasso you got to put on too, on her right arm there. But not too bad. Does not look too bad. All right, so let's take a look at the card first. So this is the male side of it. So we're definitely going to laminate these as we usually do. So let's take a look at his stats. So we have agility of 2, which is kind of low. Cunning of 3. Spirit of only 1, that's really low. Strength of 4, and definitely need to have strong strength to be able to rope your enemies. That's good too for throwing stuff too, like dynamite and stuff like that. And also will add to his carrying ability there too, the strength there. Lore of 3, which is average, and a luck of 2. So initiative is 3, which is kind of low on the low side, but not that low. There are other heroes that are lower than that. And let's see his special abilities here. At the start, so he's a Rough Rider. At the start of each turn or day in town, if you have the no grit, recover 1 grit on a d6 roll of 4+. So that'll help him while he's in the town. Okay. Happy Trails, once per travel, may need 1 grit to cancel a travel hazard on a d6 roll of 3+. That can come in handy. So about a 50, actually more than a 50% chance there. So just a 1 and a 2, so yeah, 67% chance before any tests are made for that travel hazard. So he comes with a pistol, a lasso, and a bandana. It's to hit. So yes, his abilities are pretty much not really, as far as when you're in the mines or in the other worlds, when you're on the missions, they're pretty much town abilities for the most part, town and travel. But something different. So he's a frontier and a showman. Those are his keywords. So you can use those items that have frontier and showman on it. Oops, sorry for the light. Combat of 2, which is on the low side. Max grit of 2, which is average. Range 4+, melee 4+, so hits on about a 50% rate, whether it's ranged or melee. So pretty even there. Good health, 14, and sanity 12. So those are fairly high starting stats. 4+ defense, that's pretty good. And sanity also 4+. So he's pretty well rounded. And then here's the female side, which is the same thing, except with the female picture and mini and everything. All right, so that is your Cowboys. Those are your starting stats there. What do you want to take a look at next? Take a look at the minis, I guess. So these are the minis. So like I said, there's the male and there's the female. But pretty easy to put together. Nothing too hard. Just got to be careful when I don't break that lasso there when I'm snapping it out with the pliers. And the 2 bases right there. So cool. I'll probably just prime them. Like I think I had most of my other minis are black primed. I don't really get in deep into the painting at all, but I may. We'll see. All right, so let's take a look here. So these are some of his starting abilities. I think these are the three different things you can start as. So I think there's 3 cards. Yeah, these are the 3 cards we're gonna decide between. So you can either be a watchman. So as a watchman on the range, it's your duty to be on the ball and alert with the most of the posse to any danger. This gives you a jump on enemies at your initiative level, as well as giving your entire posse a leg up when it comes to being ambushed. This also swaps out your regular pistol for the rider's rifle, letting you rapidly pour fire into enemies from a distance. So let's take out the cards now, because that'll be helpful to look at the cards as we're looking at this, I think. All right. Okay. So this ability comes with when you pick this right here. So you get extra starting. You get the rider's rifle instead of the rider's pistol, which instead of the pistol, which we'll take a look at. Okay, so that's for that. So you get that ability. Let's take a look at the other. So the other possibility is the Daredevil, living by the seat of your pants. The upgrade kicks your move into high gear and gives you damage bonuses for taking on the biggest enemies up close and personal. Okay, let's take a look at that. So Daredevil is this card you got. All of your attacks on adjacent large or bigger enemies are +1 damage. It's okay. Yeah, and you also get +2 move. That's pretty good. Sort of allow you to get through the mines a little faster, but nothing that exciting in that. And this one is probably the most interesting of the 3. Trick shooting. Not for the slow pokes on the range. Trick shooting puts the show into showman. Lining up a fancy trick shot can be a fun way to bounce bullets around and take down multiple enemies at a time. It can also impress your friends. Okay, so that comes with this card right here. So use 1 grit when you cause a hit with a gun to immediately cause an additional D3 other enemies. So you roll a D3 die or just roll a D6 and divide it by 2. Other enemies, and a continuous chain, so they have to be kind of in a chain. So you want them to be close together. Starting adjacent to the target, also take a single hit from a gun. So these can be good for like Hungry Dead or spiders or other enemies which are gonna get up on you and go in some kind of a line. Starting adjacent to the target, also take a single hit from that gun. Yeah, so this can get multiple enemies with 1 shot. So that's the advantage of that, definitely. That's probably the most interesting of the 3, of the Daredevil, trick shooting, or the Watchman. This can be helpful in an ambush attack, I guess. You'll always activate before enemies at your initiative level. That means since he's a 3, if there are monsters at 3, normally the monsters get to go first, but he would get to go first. But I do like to ride his rifle, so that would, which I'll show you in a second. All right, so let's see what else we got here. So leveling up as a cowboy. Whenever you go to a new hero level, what does that say? Roll 2d6, yeah. So that's just pretty much the same as the other charts. So this is basically what you're going to roll for. Playing a cowboy, rough and tumble, hardy folk, starting upgrade choices. Okay, so let's take a look here. So 2d6, so if you roll a 2, Frontier Vendetta, choose an enemy keyword, demon, undead, etc. From now on, anytime you collect XP from those enemies, collect an extra plus 10 XP. So I think that's a pretty common thing. There are other heroes that do that too. 3 is a plus 1 strength. 4 is an initiative. Plus 1 initiative. That's handy. So 5, 6, and 7 are probably going to be the meat of the ones you're going to get. Plus 1 agility or luck. Also gain plus D6 sanity. 6 is plus 1 cunning or spirit. He starts with such a low spirit of 1. You might want to boost that up a little bit. Cunning is also good if you're going to go into the, for the saloon for gambling. Cunning or Spirit also gives you a D6 health and sanity, any mix. And then 7 is just D6 health and sanity. D6 health and D6 sanity, so that can be very helpful. That's probably the most common thing, obviously, with the 7. 8 is plus 1 lore or spirit, also gain a plus D6 health or slash sanity, any mix. 2 side bag token capacity for 9, also gain D6 health. Okay. Yeah, he might be good at like dynamite because of his strength too. His strength of the 4, I think it was. Is it strength of 4? Yeah, strength of 4. Yeah, so that can be helpful. You'd probably be a good guy to throw dynamite with. Plus 10 is a plus 1 max grit. So basically you need 500 experience to level up the first time, and then I know the second time it's 1,000 and so forth. So 10 is plus 1 max grit. 11 is plus 1 strength. That's pretty helpful. And then this one is good too. I like this one. I've seen other heroes with this too. I think the Marshal, I know has this too. 12 is a plus 2 Darkstone resistance. You can now hold 2 more corruption points before getting a mutation. Normally it's 4, but this allows you to get up to 6, so that's really helpful. All right, so let's take a look at his upgrade chart. I'll show you guys. I'll show you the whole thing. So let's fold it this way. I'll show it to you a couple at a time. So these are the 4 possibilities: on the range, thrill seeker, fisticuffs, and show off. So living off the land, gain double XP from scavenge cards and may roll 1 extra die when scavenging. That's good. Double XP. And we roll an extra die from scavenger. That'll help you level up faster. For each scavenge card drawn, heal 1 wound or sanity. That's really helpful right there. So it pays to definitely scavenge with him. Okay, Living on the Edge, Thrill Seeker. While you are half or less of your health or sanity, your Rough Rider ability triggers on a 3+ instead of a 2+. So Rough Rider was the... where's Rough Rider? Rough Rider was the... That's recovering grit. Okay, that's nothing that exciting. Okay, taking a swing once per turn. Use 1 grit to make a melee attack using your basic combat in addition to your normal range attack. That can be helpful, but you have to use grit for it. And then fancy roping. This is lassoing. Anytime you rope an enemy with a lasso, gain 10 XP. And so your second turn when you use the lasso, I think, as you'll see in a second, I think you have to roll to see whether or not the enemy stays roped. And depending upon the size of the enemy, you have to roll higher for a bigger size and so forth. But we'll get into that when I look at the cards for that. So this is if you're going to go down the line of lassoing. Gain 10 XP and recover a grit on a d6 roll of 4+. Okay, that's not bad. And +1 initiative, which is initiative is always good to get. Helps you act first. So this one. So let's take a look here. So if you go down this range, you're going to get +1 damage on attacks on tribal, outlaw, or beast enemies. So certain things do better. And you get +1 max grit on that. So max grit is going to be helpful for him, as it is with a lot of heroes. Once per fight, use 1 grit to do d6 wounds. So +3 health. And this one is good. Okay, I think the Fist of Cups here, the bar fight vet. You got +1 combat, +1 strength, and +1 move. That's probably... I think the take a swing thing is good there. And then fancy roping too, you can get plus agility on that with your lasso. And then lastly, let's take a look here. Let's see what they are down below at the end. I don't want to go into these too in depth. Sorry. So basically down the bottom, this gives you some more defense. This will give you +2 shots of a gun. Okay. Or +2 combat, you choose. Pale Rider. And then Giddy Up over here. Sorry, it's just not focusing the way I want it to. Anyway, but yeah, that's basically the Cowboy. There's definitely different paths you can take. Okay, and then let's take a look at some more of the cards here. The lasso. Let's take a look at the lasso here. So once per fight or any time, choose a enemy within range 5 and in line of sight to rope the lasso. When roped, the enemy may not move. Well, that's good. And so these might be good against like hellbats or flying creatures too. So it keeps them at a distance maybe, and they can't move. Or any enemy, but even the Hungry Dead, so they can't get close to you. And is -1 combat and -1 defense. So that would help with creatures with high defense like the Hungry Dead and other things too. Okay, that's good. Or any enemies that have fear, you don't want to get close to you too, so that could be helpful with that. Okay. At the start of that enemy's activation, make a strength 5+. So that's why strength is good for him, to load up on that, get items that have strength. So strength is his definite best attribute you want to keep high. To keep roped, or 6+ if large. So 5+ to test, so small and medium creatures. So large creatures, 6+. And then extra large, you have to do it twice, 6+ with 2 successes. Enemies with an ability. Okay, and then what's this right here? Oops. but it requires a grit, I think, to use. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. There you go. Repeat if failed. It is if what? If passed, the enemy remains roped. If failed, it is released. Oh, okay. All right. So that's that one. And then here's the rider's rifle. So this is an addition you get to the pistol. It's just a normal item, which I think has range of 6 and 2 shots. This will allow you to shoot stuff at a longer distance. Kind of similar to the, I think this might be what the Rancher gets, or something similar. So range of 10 shots too. Use 1 grit to gain D3 shots. Plus D3 shots, limit once per attack. It might not be the same one that the Rancher gets. But anyway, that's a good weapon to have. And this one you get in place of the pistol if you do the, not the trick shooting, but which one is it? If you choose the Watchman ability. All right, so that's a possibility. We'll see. And then last thing, this is your personal item, which you get. Oh, starting gear, sorry. Once per turn, you may re-roll an escape test. Okay. And then here, yeah, your pistol is right here, 6 and 2, which is what I thought it was. But this right here, the rider's rifle does use 2 hands, so you can only use that. All right, let's see. There's some tokens that come with it too. So you get the Rancher and the Cowboy tokens, male and female, and those will be helpful. If you're doing like decide which. Anytime you have to, there's a choice of what hero's the target, or a random hero, that kind of stuff. There's your lasso token, so you can tell which creatures are lassoed. So it can be more than one. So it looks like up to 2 creatures can be lassoed. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. So that's a basic rundown of the, those are all the cards that come with it. But yeah, pretty good. Something different. Nothing very exciting on it, but the lassoing thing might be interesting, and the ability where it can chain attacks there, that could be cool. But yeah, definitely something I'd like to try out. It's a little different than some of the other basic heroes you get. So that's it. So that is the Cowboy. So stay tuned for more unboxings. We're going to be doing more coming up. I think we have at least 5 or 6 more coming up. So yeah, it's getting back in the Shadows of Brimstone. Maybe we'll do a playthrough if we can get a good setup going and get a good lighting going. That's one thing. The place that I am in, the lighting isn't the greatest. But we'll see if we can work on that. So take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next board game unboxing. Bye for now.